How you doing today? This is Pat with Dignity Credit Solutions. Credit matters. So that's why we're here today. I wanted to talk with you today about how to quickly improve your credit score. I do personal credit management and training, and one of the things that I found out was that most people do not understand how their credit score works. Now, I'm not going to give a big, long discussion on that. I was at a recent conference and I spoke up on stage to about 600 entrepreneurs, and I asked them a very simple question. I said, how many of you have had something on your credit report that wasn't theirs or that was inaccurate? And like 90% of the room raised their hand. So I'm doing this video just to quickly share with you what we do, how we do it, and then how you can get started to rebuild your credit and get on the journey to great credit. Number one, step one, who are we? Well, my name is Pat, dignitycreditsolutions.com. Phone number is 877-777-0097. That's 877-777-0097. You can also reach us at dignitycreditsolutions.com. You can search Google for Pat Walley, P-A-T-W-A-L-L-E-Y. You can go to YouTube and look for Pat Walley, or you can go to Amazon and look for Pat Walley. I come up number one everywhere. That book right there, Credit Matters, that is how to build your business credit, because we work primarily with entrepreneurs, but there's also a section there on personal credit. Today, I'm going to focus on personal credit. So Tony the Millionaire Bear and I, Pat Walley, are ready to start. Now, a little bit about me. I actually started my journey in 2011 with really, really bad credit. I had great credit at one point in my life. 2011 rolled around. I did not have good credit. I was looking up at a 500 FICO score going, man, how am I going to ever get this fixed? And I remember I decided to start because I was in a Chase bank, nothing against Chase, but I was in their bank. I had money in their bank and I had a job, and I applied for credit. And guess what, folks? I got turned down. I got declined, denied again. So I had gone from Ace check cashing, because the only place I could cash my checks was a check cashing place. I had a car that I was making payments on with like 24% interest. Yeah, I mean, I was in bad shape and I got denied again. So how in the world do you recover from that? How do you build to where I am now, over 750 credit score? 750 is a magic number, by the way. Over 750, you get pretty much everything you ask for, if you've got the right other portions in there. But 750, let me rephrase that. You don't get everything you ask for. The more doors open up for you, and you can qualify for more things if the rest of your credit profile is good. So the first step to the journey is to decide to start. Now, I want everybody listening. I want you, if you're listening to me today, I want you to get your credit cards, primarily your interest on your loans, your lines of credit, your mortgage. I want the interest on those loans and lines and debt. I want to reduce the interest first. Get you off the high interest. Once we get the interest down, then we can get you to 0% and take that interest payment that you were making and pay it toward the debt. And your debt disappears a lot quicker. And how do you do that? You decide to start. How do you start? You can go right now to my website. If you're ready to start, if you're like, Pat, I know I'm in trouble, I got some issues, or I just need to bump my score up enough to get a house, which is a lot of people that I talk to, that's what they want to do. How do you get started? I'm going to share that with you right now. I'll share my screen. All you have to do is go to dignitycreditsolutions.com right here. Click on the calendar. Schedule an appointment with us right here. Select your time zone. Pick a day. Pick a time, fill out this brief questionnaire, and hit complete. That's how you get started with us. Once you do that, I'll get the email and I will personally send you a budget sheet that you can start your journey, and we can figure out how to get you taken care of. All right, so schedule an appointment or give us a call right now. So what do you do then? So I've decided to start. So if I was taking a trip, for instance, down to LA from Sacramento, and I decided I'm going to take a trip from LA to Sacramento, what would I do? I would get online, I'd book a flight. Well, there's a lot of factors involved in that. So just like taking a trip, your credit journey also has to be planned. You got to plan this thing out. So we help you with your plan. You got to plan your trip. Where are you now? You have to get a budget. You also need to get a credit report from all three credit bureaus. I'm not going to go into a lot of the details, but Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, we're probably all familiar with those three credit reporting agencies. They are not required to maintain accurate data on you and let you know if there's a mistake. You have to ask them to prove it. Okay, did you get that? You have to ask them to prove it. Well, how do you know if there's a mistake on your credit report? You have to go get your credit report. Now, there is one place that the government, the federal government, allows you to get one, every United States citizen can get one credit report every year from annualcreditreport.com. You can get a 3 bureau credit report once a year. We offer one that you can get $1 for a 7-day trial, and you can see what's on your credit report without using that 1 year pass. Go to our website, get the $1 offer, find out what's on your credit report. We can import that data into our software and then analyze your credit with you and find out if there's anything on there that doesn't jive. Most recently, I had a client that she had a account from a creditor that wasn't even hers. It wasn't even hers. She goes, what is this? I don't know. What is it? She goes, I never even lived there. So we did what we do. We trained her and showed her how to request a validation of that. They couldn't verify it, so they had to remove it. We did a prove it or remove it. So what does Dignity Credit Solutions do? We help you to find out what's on your credit report. And then if there's any mistakes or inaccuracies, then we help show you how to request from Equifax, Experian, TransUnion to verify that information. Now, these are for-profit companies. The Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, they're multi-billion-dollar companies. So they're going to drag their feet. They have certain techniques and tactics to slow you down in that process. We help you along the way and know how to answer it. We've got letters that we help you use to get past their stumbling blocks, if you will. And then we get them to prove it or remove it. By law, they have to prove that that information is accurate. If they cannot prove that it's accurate, they have to remove it from your credit report by law. So we use the law to help you adjust your report to be accurate. All right, that's all. I don't do credit repair. I don't fix things. I can't remove collections and things. What we do is we ask by law the credit reporting agencies to review your request and correct the inaccuracies. And if they cannot do that, they have to remove it by law. That's all we do. And it works. I got 9 items removed from one of my clients' reports last month alone. 9. Yeah, she was happy. She's trying to get a house, right? So these items were holding up the process. So we went in, reviewed her credit, made a plan with her. We planned her trip, and then we got those items removed. It took a couple months, but we finally got them off there. So you have to know where you are now. So you've got to get a budget, you got to get a credit report, and then you have to know where you want to go. Okay, if you hop on a plane and just say, oh, whatever plane I get on, I'll just go to that destination. No, you have to have the destination and know why you're getting there, because getting a car and getting a house are 2 different items. So we help you set your goals, and then you have to monitor your score as you move along this credit repair journey. You have to know what's happening. Sometimes things will show up that aren't yours. Sometimes there's a lot of things that happen. So you want to continue monitoring. We have a monitoring solution for you and an identity theft protection that we have available for you at a very reduced rate. We've negotiated with Ken from Identity IQ, and we offer that at a very discounted rate. So that's number 2, plan your trip. We help you out, go on the calendar, schedule that out. Number 3, start your journey. You have to start your journey. Doesn't do any good to go buy an airline ticket and never show up at the airport, right? So it doesn't do any good to go, doggone it, Pat, today is the day that I'm going to make a change, and then never do it. I run into people all the time. Today is the day. We're going to start a business. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And they never, you talk to them a year later, we're about ready to start. We're going to do that one day, someday. Today has to be the day. Do it now. If you don't start, you're never going to start. So start today. Okay. Don't be like the lady that I met in a class one day on Thursday when I used to train on how to reduce your debt quickly. She came up to me afterward and goes, Pat, man, my husband's a truck driver and we're drowning in credit card debt. I said, well, I can help you out. Let's do this and this. And she never started. And she told me, she goes, this keeps me up at night. Like, man, that must be miserable. Hundreds of dollars in interest payments, hundreds of dollars a month in just interest payments. I never saw her again, so I don't know. So how can you get started with us? Go to the website, dignitycreditsolutions.com, schedule an appointment on the calendar. I'm going to show you something right now on how, the little tip that I'm going to give you on how you can possibly improve your credit score next month without spending any additional money than you already are now. You ready? Okay, here we go. So your credit score is made up of payment history. How much do you owe? So if I've got a $1,000 card, how much of that am I using? So some people call it credit to debt. I call it usage. That's 65% of your credit score is based on those two items right there. So start making your payments on time. If you make late payments, stop. Okay, start making your payments on time. We'll help you out with that. How much do you owe based on how much that you have available? How long have you had your credit? How many new inquiries? So stop making inquiries right now. Don't apply for any more credit. And then what type of credit do you have? Different types of credit. If you have a mortgage, a line of credit, a credit card, those all report differently. And the lenders want you to, or the credit reporting agencies, the ones that validate you and give you a risk score. That's all that score is. The FICO score and your credit score, that's a risk analysis score. That tells the lenders your credit worthiness based on their system. So here's how you beat their system. Pay attention now. This is how I raised my score 50 plus points in 1 month. Ready? My capacity right here. So I had a $500 credit card. All right. And I paid my bill. My bill was due on the 13th. Pay attention now. My bill was due on the 13th. I paid it off on the 1st. I paid my credit card off on the 1st. My credit score should jump, right? It kept going down. Like, what the heck, man? So we'll use $1,000 because the math is easier, right? So say I had a $1,000 card and I paid it on the 1st. I paid the balance down to 0 on the 1st. Great. And when the bill came due on the 13th, the balance due was 0 because I paid it early. But here's the thing. If you look at your credit report, you find out the date reported or last reported date. That is the balance that they report on. When I say they, I mean TransUnion, Equifax, Experian. So I would pay it on the 1st and then I used it. And so when it reported on the 18th, not the 13th when it was due, it reported on the 18th, my balance was maxed out. So I showed maxed out use, which is 35% of your score. So here's all I did, folks. Are you ready? So I made my minimum payment on the 1st so that my payment wasn't late. And then I paid the rest of it on the 15th. And then I didn't use my card. So when it reported to the credit bureaus, my balance was, I would leave $5 on there. So my balance was $5. So instead of showing this much usage on the 18th, I showed that much usage on the 18th. So my usage was way down. I only showed that much instead of this much. So instead of 90% usage, I showed 1% usage. Huge difference. My score popped up the next month. You can do that too. Change when you pay your bills. Okay, make sure you pay them on time, your minimum payment, but then pay the big chunk. I use 3 days before the reporting date. So you can go to your credit report, see the last reported or date reported. That's when the banks or the home loans or the lenders report to the credit bureaus. They're all different. All 3 bureaus tend to be different. So check them all. If you need help with that, give us a call. That's one of the strategies that we use. We've got some other ones. That's a great one. I've had 86-point jumps in 1 month, 30-point jump, 50-point jumps. Yours may be different. I don't know. Only way to find out is give us a call, 877-777-0097. That's 877-777-0097, or go to dignitycreditsolutions.com. You can pick up our books on Amazon. We were #1 bestseller with the Rockstar book, #3 new release on the Credit Matters. Talk to Tony, the Millionaire Bear. This stuff works. Go to our website, check it out, give me a call, check us out on YouTube. Any way you do it, make a decision to start, and have a blessed day.